Hello, everybody, and welcome to Fortress Comic News, episode 292. I am one of your hosts, Chris, alongside my co-host here, Mike. What's up, Mike?
What is up? We were going to talk about the interview that we have today, but also this is the episode where Chris takes a step away from Pokemon for a few minutes to grace us with his presence. Have you been playing it or what?
I have not had a chance yet because
okay.
somebody had to have family over this weekend, had to get in the way of me playing it on opening night.
So spoiler alert. There's good news and bad news. Good news, we have Kevin Anthony Catalan on the show this week with his book Space Knights. It's freaking awesome. But bad news is I won't be here. Yeah, it's really good. Chris is handling this one on his own because reasons.
It's going to be... So not only is Mike going to disappear, everybody.
Yeah.
I'm going to have a haircut. And I'll probably be wearing a different shirt.
What?
So it's going to be real jarring.
Yeah.
Except for the fact that the YouTube version of this goes up weirdly. So I don't know why I explained that. But yeah, that's happening. Because tomorrow I'm getting my haircut.
We're visually describing it for all of you audiophiles. I don't know. The people that listen to the show.
Yeah.
That's a too big of a word for me, and I'm too tired to figure that one out.
The way more people that listen than watch.
Yeah, which is fine.
I'm good
for
with
the multitask.
I have a face for radio, so I'm good with that.
Yeah. I wonder what people do when they listen to our show, because I listen to audiobooks when I'm in the shower. No shame.
I listen. That's what I do at work. I put an earbud in and I have podcasts in. And for my line of work, it keeps people from talking to me, which is great because I hate people.
Very good.
And then when I'm driving around,
But driving is pretty much where I listen to all my podcasts. I've tried to listen to them when I travel, on planes. I just fall asleep. I don't know if it's just the people's voice.
I've tried sitting down or lying down, and I just turned to my father, passed out on the recliner.
I actually know, one of my previous jobs, there was a non-technical person talking to me once. He's like, "Oh, you're a chemical engineer." So he's like, "Are you into space and physics and all that stuff?" And I'm like, "Yeah, it's pretty cool." He goes, "Yeah, well, I listen to that Starcast, which is Neil deGrasse Tyson's podcast about space, right?" He's like, "Yeah, it puts me to bed every night." I was like, "Oh, so you use it to sleep? Okay." Basically telling me science is boring. It's not.
I did for a while, and that show got stale for me personally.
You can only talk about particle physics for so long without putting people to sleep, I suppose.
Listen, teach their own, because I have a super nerdy football show I listen to, and I'm sure most people who listen to that and are just hearing about the X's and O's of football will be just dying asleep, where I'm just this is fascinating. I can't.
What are they? Are they?
How did Derrick Henry do that?
Are they going to add more X's or O's this week? Oh man. Which I wonder if they're going to throw the ball or hand it off. Let's find out. Yeah. Oh yeah. There's a sport thing going on. The World Cup's happening in Qatar, but I don't think it's kind of controversial, so we probably won't talk about that this week. It's a cool thing.
I didn't even know that was happening.
Yeah. There's been a lot of things going on about it, and I won't get into it because it's I really don't know enough to take a stand either way.
So obviously I don't know anything, but to any of our European listeners, I have a rule. Okay, here's my rule. I'll agree to call your football. Outside of the borders of the United States, I will call it football. As long as when you come inside these borders, it is soccer. That's my rule.
I think it's funny that Chris only made that agreement with the Europeans and not the rest of the world besides the United States that calls it that.
I don't think anyone in Africa's listening to this.
Well, yeah. Who knows? We might have some... Well, yeah, maybe some people in Asia that listen to us. Australia, maybe. New Zealand.
Australia, yeah.
Yeah,
I don't
Antarctica.
know. I got too angry of a New York accent for Australians.
Yeah. Um. I
They're just
yeah
sitting there going, "This dude with his didgeridoo." That's I don't know.
yeah.
That's my
I mean, I
Australian.
guess we do talk about mostly American comic books, Western comic books, but yeah, it'd be interesting to see our demographics of like who listens to us and where they listen from. I'd be interested if we get any out of U.S. listeners.
I could probably figure that out, but that sounds like work.
Yeah, that's this is we're already there. Anyways, everybody, let's just jump into the show. You don't want to hear any more of this crap.
Yes,
Um,
we have actual news.
yeah. Sony struck a deal with Amazon for a new series of Spider-Man Universe TV shows. So I don't know what the hell is going on anymore. The first come to life is an upcoming Silk. What? A Silk live action series. Former Walking Dead showrunner Angela Kang has been tapped to run the Silk show. I do know that I still haven't watched Walking Dead in a long time, but I do know the series finale was this weekend
Yeah, it was
coming.
recently.
Yeah, so
I've been thinking about just catching up and finishing it. I don't know.
yeah, now that there's an ending, yeah, I mean
Yeah.
it's kind of enticing.
Well, there's an ending and there isn't because like now there's two
Well,
more shows spinning out of it, and yeah.
yeah, I will say this: been catching up on Doom Patrol. Finished season 2, wild stuff, and season 3 even better. Yeah, I don't know why I dropped off the show. I don't know. I just dropped off. I'll probably catch up on Titans next because I think both those shows have been confirmed for more seasons. So yeah, and man, Brendan Fraser, man, he's so great in that show as Robot Man. I love it.
I think Titans has a new season going on right now because they're on the front of my HBO
HBO,
Max.
yeah, yep.
But real quick,
Huh.
everybody, you can tell we don't care about Silk because we immediately got away
Oh
from
yeah,
that.
yeah,
But
yeah. If you're sorry, I don't know how I got from Silk to Doom Patrol, but if you like Silk,
but you did yeah, I'm slowly going through Doom Patrol because Andor's still going on, even though I didn't watch the episode this week. That new
yeah,
Tales from the Jedi came out, which is if you haven't watched it, it's really fucking good.
okay,
And then back to football, Hard Knocks is on, so I've got 2 shows I'm watching weekly now.
yeah,
But I got through most of the first season so far, and yeah, you're right. The show is phenomenal. And what
hmm
makes me happy is just Robot Man in every episode has a different punk rock band T-shirt.
yeah, yeah,
Like when he came
yeah,
out with the Dead Kennedys T-shirt, I lost it. Like not only did they put earmuffs for any children out there, not only was the song "Nazi Punks Fuck Off" in
hmm
the show,
yeah,
but then like 2 episodes later, he's just wearing a Dead Kennedys T-shirt.
yeah. And
And
then
I'm like,
he's trying to pick a shirt for his daughter's wedding, and he has them all laid out on the table. It's a pretty good scene.
yeah, like it brought me so much joy as like someone who's really into like old school punk rock and everything.
Yeah,
But yeah, the
yeah,
show as a whole is just phenomenal. I mean, it's wacky, it's crazy. It hits you with
hmm
feels at times. Like it's
hmm
just yeah, it's I can't believe I didn't get further into this sooner. But
yeah. It's good stuff. Yeah. So I don't. I back to that. I don't know who Silk is.
oh, so I don't really either. Like I know her. It's just like another generic Spider character in my eyes. The Spider-Man fans hate me right now. Um, but it's just I don't know. I I like Miles. I was into Miles from the beginning. Peter, I in and out on. Like it has to be the right creative team for Peter to mean anything to me.
hmm
Everyone else, from whatever they're calling her now, but Spider Gwen to Silk to all these like they're basically Spider Verse characters.
Yeah.
That's where they all came from,
Right. Right.
and it's just it's not my bag.
Speaking of
Not enough
Spider-Man,
Modoc.
yeah, not enough Modoc for you. You're like more Modoc, less Silk. Uh, I did watch. I was traveling this week, so I didn't read anything, but I watched Spider-Man 1 and 2 were on the TV at the hotel, and I decided to stay up and not sleep and just watch through them for some reason, and because they're fantastic. But there was a line I caught. I think it was in Spider-Man 2 where, and we all know Sam Raimi directed those movies, and then he goes on to direct Multiverse of Madness. But in one of the movies, they're like, "What do we call him?" I think it's the first one because they're trying to figure out the name. And or no, I think they're thinking of a name for Doctor Ock, Doc Ock in the second one.
Mhm.
And they're like, "What about Doctor Strange?" And they're like, "Oh no, that's taken." And I was like, "Damn." Sam Raimi wanted to do a Doctor Strange movie back then.
Probably.
uh, I know he said it's probably one of his favorite characters, but I thought that was so awesome to be like, holy shit. And like to know he went on to make a Doctor Strange movie and this, like, who knew this Marvel universe would be birthed from these movies, right? Like, because that's really where it all began now. I mean, that's, uh,
I'll bet you at
yeah.
some point he had a pitch for just like a solo Doctor Strange movie.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And they're like, not yet, but maybe like Kevin Feige's looking at his spider
Well,
web and he's like, 30 years.
when did that movie came out?
2000, early
2002.
2000s? Yeah.
So okay,
So
so
20 years.
so MCU is nobody's even thinking about this. Like maybe
Yeah.
Feige's in a corner in a cave somewhere, like I can do this, but
Yeah.
nobody's
Yeah.
really thinking about it.
Yep.
So they're probably like, let's go with the assumption that I'm right here, and he has a pitch, and he was like, hey, let's do a Doctor Strange movie. Everyone's probably like, nobody's gonna watch a Doctor Strange movie in 2000 whatever.
They're like,
Like
but
nobody's gonna do that. And
we'll
then
let you do Spider Man.
yeah, and then fast forward,
Yeah.
here we are.
Mm-hmm. Amazing stuff. Uh, and
Pun intended.
to get on the Sam Raimi train and try to mix Thanksgiving in there, everybody. I know you're going to be really interested in this, but there's a whole following for like these. I think it's Hallmark Channel for their movies, for like their seasonal movies. Yeah, you can go on
Mhm.
their website and they have like a release like every Saturday. Um,
Tell me Sam
and
Raimi directed one of them.
no, but Bruce Campbell will be on the one that comes out the Thursday before Thanksgiving, or I think yeah, no, Wednesday or Thursday. It might even just come out on Thanksgiving, but it's playing that night. And Bruce Campbell's, I think he's acted in one before, but he's acted in this one. And I'll be with my family on that day, and I did text them and say, hey, can we watch this Hallmark movie? And it's because of Bruce Campbell. um, some of them are
That
so
touching
cute.
moment of you
Yeah.
and your mom on the couch watching this
Yeah.
Bruce Campbell Hallmark movie.
I just wanted to be like groovy at some point. But yeah, hey, good for him. And now you can go watch that movie. It's probably not going to be as good as Evil Dead, but Legion of Superheroes animated movie trailer. I forgot this was a thing. It looks pretty good. I'm going to be checking it out. Uh, it sounds like they're doing Troy. They got Troy Baker to do Batman voice, unless someone similar to him.
No, it's the dude. It's Soldier Boy.
Oh, that's who it is. Yeah, I forgot he switched over. Yes. Yep.
Not
Jensen Ackles.
Jensen Ankles. Yeah,
Yeah. Jensen Ackles. That's why it sounded familiar. Okay. He's got a pretty good Batman voice. I like it.
yeah. He's done Batman before too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this popped up, and it was like it shocked me back into. We talked about this like a month ago. We're like, we should pay more attention to these animated movies.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh yeah, the Legion of Superheroes thing's coming out. It was
Yep.
oh that's right. This conversation came up because of Super Sons,
Mm-hmm.
but I saw this and I was like, oh, it looks pretty good. Supergirl instead of Superboy, fine, whatever.
Yeah, that's what I
I'm
mean.
sure it's not going to change much.
It's gonna sell
But
toys.
well, and it showed that great moment of her being like Brainiac, no, and like choking him out until she
Yeah.
realizes it's not that Brainiac. I
Right.
like all the weird characters from Legion.
Mm-hmm.
From the most recent one that I've only read the couple
I
of
could
recent ones.
I couldn't believe they put Bouncing Boy.
That's the one where I was just like, okay, they're all in.
Yeah, when they show Bouncing Boy is literally someone who inflates himself like Violet from Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory.
Yeah. The animation still to me is kind of weird, but
Yeah, it's a little jarring at times when they get
I
up
get it.
close. Yeah.
Yeah, I get it cost wise, like it makes sense.
I
But the
prefer
voice
that to
acting looks fun.
the voice acting is fun. I prefer that animation to the 3D, but still not as good as like animated series stuff.
Yeah, I don't think we'll ever get back to that like truly hand drawn '90s cartoons.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe like niche products here and there,
Yeah.
but I don't think we'll ever like truly get back to it. So
Yeah.
it is what it is. It's not my preferred, but it still looks pretty good. And I look forward to checking this one out when it's free on HBO Max.
Yeah, exactly. Blu-rays are expensive. And I think
Yeah, because I've been trying to find a way to another tangent, everybody. I've been like, I really want to watch all the Apes movies again,
mhm,
the original 5.
yeah.
And I was like, where are they streaming? Not streaming anywhere, even though Disney owns them
Yeah.
and HBO streams all the new ones. So can't find them to stream anywhere. So I was like, okay, I'll go on Amazon. Couldn't find a way to rent them on Amazon, even though like it's weird. It says when you search it like rent for this much, but then when you go in, it doesn't have like the button to rent. So I was like, okay, I'll just buy the DVDs because fuck it. And yeah, the DVDs are like just the DVDs, mind you, are like $40 or $50.
Why?
That doesn't like get the Blu-ray and it fucking skyrockets.
Really?
Yeah,
That's
like
crazy.
almost double.
Oh my god. It's
Yeah,
insane.
it's unreal.
Well, I'm sorry about that, and all you other ape fans out there.
But I did find that they have the live action TV show from the 70s and the Hanna-Barbera cartoon both on DVD for under $10. So you can imagine what's coming from Amazon for my house this week.
Hey, there you go. Nice. Chris found something to hold him over for now.
I own them somewhere. They're just
Yeah.
everything's in boxes right now because I'm like kind of
Yeah.
in between
Yeah,
things.
right,
But
right. So
I don't really want to rebuy them, but I want to watch them.
and I don't want to go looking for them. Uh Before
Put
we
it on
get to the
Disney
interview,
Plus.
yeah, just put them up there. No, they got to release them from the vault and charge you money for them. Before we jump to the interview, Chris has some kind words from our sponsors.
Yeah, so everybody knows I've gone through transition recently in life trying to lose weight and everything, but like know that your mental health is just as important. And that's also something that I've pushed out there in the past, like
Mm-hmm.
my issues throughout my life with depression and all that shit. So it's just life's hard. It doesn't come with a user manual, and sometimes you need one. Well, luckily our sponsor today can help. So unfortunately, life doesn't come with a user manual. So when it's not working for you, it's normal to feel stuck. Navigate any of life's challenges. Navigating any of life's challenges can make you feel unsure, whether it's a career change, a new relationship, or becoming a parent. Therapists are trained to help you figure out the cause of challenging emotions and learn productive coping skills, which makes therapy the closest thing to a guided tour of the complex engine that is you. Um, have you tried the service yet, Mike?
Have not. I personally, I know it's BetterHelp is. I think the advantage to it is the convenience of it all, but I have just been so busy between the holidays and traveling. I just haven't had time.
So yeah, neither of us have tried it personally, but I have heard people who have tried it that
Yes.
love it. Like you don't have to leave the house; you can sit at home on your phone and talk to a therapist.
Yep.
So like you could literally just for a half an hour, like go in a secluded room or in your backyard or something and talk to a therapist. So
Mm-hmm.
I know people love it and it works really well. So
And
whether or not you're, oh sorry, go ahead.
I said I do know people that have done work for them and also have used the service, and I'll say it's. I hear good things all around. So
Yeah. So whether or not you've been in therapy personally, uh, oh, I'm sorry. So I'm reading the script right now, but
what? This is an ad lib?
yeah, they're gonna love this. But so, in all honesty, though, like just I never done therapy. I'm a terrible person and just a typical man and just deal with my issues myself. But
Mm,
like I've people in my life or therapy and everything. I know people have gone to therapy. My brother went to therapy for years, and it helps to talk to somebody.
mm-hmm,
And somebody professional can usually do a better job of helping you feel better about it. So, as the world's largest therapy service, BetterHelp matches 3 million people with a professionally licensed and vetted therapist available 100% online. Plus, it's affordable, which is the best option there. Just fill out a brief survey to match with a therapist. If things aren't clicking with that therapist, you can easily switch to a new one anytime. It couldn't be simpler. No waiting rooms, no traffic, no endless searching for the right therapist. Learn more and save 10% off your first month at betterhelp.com/fortresscomics. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/fortresscomics. Now let's go to this interview, everybody. And we're back.
We're back. Space Knights. Man.
Book is dope.
Book is dope. Take our words for it. We've read a few comics. And speaking of that, we have some solid comic book news this week. Some Stephanie Phillips, more comic book Marvel news. Chris is excited about. We knew Stephanie Phillips is going over to Marvel. She teased a new project at Marvel, and we know it's going to be Cosmic Ghost Riders back with the first ongoing series written by Stephanie Phillips with art by Juan Cabal. Awesome stuff. I think this is going to be sick.
Yeah. First of all, Stephanie teaming up with Juan Cabal is huge. Like, he's amazing.
Yeah.
Just amazing.
Yeah.
Really happy that character's back. I enjoyed, obviously, Donnie being the quote-unquote creator of that character.
Yep.
However you want to slice that up, but I really liked his version of it. I thought the one that Paul Scheer did was kind of so-so. It was a weird way to do it. But every time he's come back, I've really enjoyed him. So to do him in ongoing, I'm down. Like, I'll check it out. Obviously, I love Stephanie, and I'm just glad that she's on a book that is more my style. While I read Harley for a little bit and got some enjoyment out of it, it just quickly dropped off because it's not Harley. A character for me.
Yeah. Star Wars getting a new miniseries written by Justina Ireland, art by Pierre Perez. The series is called Star Wars Sana Staros and will follow, as the title says, Sana Staros, introduced in the comics as Han Solo's first wife. Dun dun dun. Is that interest? I mean, you're gonna read it, but does it interest you?
Yeah, I read all the Star Wars stuff, so she's fine. Her introduction was kind of cool. I you know those characters that like you enjoyed when they were there, but you didn't really want to dig deeper into?
Yeah.
That's her.
Okay. Understood.
I'll read it because it's like a 5-issue series, and I have all the other Star Wars comics, so I might as well.
I gotta do it.
Like I'm already in. So
yeah. DC is hitting the ground running with a new dawn of the DCU initiative starting in 2023, following the events of both Dark Crisis and Lazarus Planet, with 8 new titles announced. The list is as follows. All right, everybody. We're going to talk about some new DC comics. Superboy, Man of Tomorrow, written by Kenny Porter, art by Janoy Lindsay. This title was the winner of DC's round robin fan vote and will follow Connor Kent. Maybe I'll read this one because they refer to him as Superboy. I think I'll try it out.
Oh, it's not John, it's Connor.
Yeah. And since John is like Superman 2, I'll swap. I mean,
Superman 2 Electric Boogaloo.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, Kenny Porter's good.
I'll pass on this one. Kenny Porter is good.
Though. Yeah.
You're right.
Okay, there's some good ones here. I definitely am reading though. Unstoppable Doom Patrol, written by Dennis Culver, art by Chris Burnham. Love Burnham's art. I love me some Doom Patrol. I will be reading that one.
I love Chris's art too. Dennis Culver, I don't recall any of his other work, so he might be a newbie in my eyes.
Yeah.
We'll see what you think after issue 1.
Okay.
I'll dive in.
Green Lantern, Hal Jordan, written by Mariko Tamaki. No artist yet announced. I would have said I was going to read this one until I saw what's coming next.
I've been wanting to jump onto a Green Lantern book.
Yeah.
But there hasn't been one that's really like pulled me in. And Hal Jordan's my least favorite Green Lantern, so I'll pass this one.
Yeah, and until they announced Green Lantern John Stewart, written by Philip Kennedy Johnson. No artist yet announced, but I'm definitely grabbing that one.
That one's day one. John Stewart, my favorite Green Lantern.
Yeah,
the Green Lantern of my childhood, and the superstar Philip Kennedy Johnson writing it.
Yeah,
slam dunk.
Easy win there.
Yeah,
this one, is going to be my number one. Batman: The Brave and the Bold, The series will follow the classic formula of teaming Batman up with new character every issue, have a new creative team every issue, with Tom King and Mitch Gerards to start off. I think that's awesome. Them doing a single issue together. We always know Tom King likes to pull out wacky characters. I think this is a great. If he doesn't team up with like Kite Man for the first issue, come on, guys, what are you doing?
Yeah, it's Tom's. It's gotta be Kite Man. I was gonna say Gentleman
Yeah.
Ghost because that's
Oh yeah.
that's the best.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll be picking this one up too.
Yeah. It's always a fun book.
I love the Batman team up stuff. So
Yeah. This one's pretty cool. Green Arrow, written by Joshua Williamson and Sean Ezeksi. The series will follow Oliver as he tries to return to DC's Prime universe after the events of Dark Crisis. Like Joshua Williamson, I think he's been doing great things lately. Maybe this could mean some multiversal travel, so that's always another plus for me.
yeah, I'm usually a proponent of Green Arrow. I don't know about this story. I don't know about where he is in the universe right now, and it's also like, just to be frank, because my pull list is so big, like I am looking for any reason not to read your book.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true.
So I will probably pass on Green Arrow, to be honest.
I'm gonna try out a lot of these number ones, but I mean, I know undoubtedly will only keep a couple of them. But it is, I mean, there's some. This next one doesn't really interest me, but The Penguin, written by Tom King, art by Stefano Gaudino. The series will see Penguin get recruited by the CIA.
The most realistic storyline here, but
Yeah, yeah,
I will also pass. I think we've talked about it. I just realized recently that I'm not a Tom King fan.
yeah. And I will say this: if instead of the Penguin, if it was a Penguin being recruited by the CIA, I'm fucking in.
Oh yeah, like an
Oh
Emperor
hell
Penguin,
yeah!
just yeah,
Oh yeah! Oh hell
deep
yeah!
undercover with the CIA. I'm in.
Now
Yeah,
that's a book I want to read.
I'm actually cutting that from this episode because we gotta talk script later.
Yeah, we need to start running some shit with this. Oh my god. Oh, yeah. Okay, I love it. This is really interesting. Shazam! Exclamation point. Written by Mark Waid, art by Dan Mora. Okay. Two important things about the series. The book is said to follow a similar formula as World's Finest and feel like a modern age series. Fuck yeah.
Modern Golden Age series.
Modern Golden Age series. Both Wade and Mora are continuing to be the creative team for World's Finest, meaning they'll work on two titles at once. I am so in. I love me some of this like really nice Golden Age feel in the. I mean, we talk about World's Finest all the time. It's a great book. So
yeah. I am in as well. I mean, when we were talking about the new champion Shazam, my biggest complaint was that it's a fine book, but I want Billy. Like we don't get enough Billy, so blah blah.
Yes.
Here it is. I'm getting it, so of course I've got to go buy it. Like
that's why they didn't give us Billy.
I'm an asshole.
Yeah, right. They saved Billy for Mark Waid. It's like, oh well, fuck me, right? It's like great.
My concern here, to be frank, is Dan Mora doing two books.
Yeah, it's not Mark Waid, it's Dan Mora. Because his art's great, and we hope we can keep up. We'll see.
And I guess the colorist is coming over too. So at some point, either these books are going to be every other month, or he's dropping one, because I don't believe he's going to keep two books at once.
Yeah, that's going to be tough.
Yeah.
James Tynion IV has announced that his line of comics recently created on Substack will be published by Dark Horse as a part of a print first deal. The first two books to be printed are Blue Book and with artist Michael Avon Omings, which is a series about famous alien encounters, and the second is the oddly pedestrian life of Christopher Chaos, scripted by Tate Bromble and art by Isaac Goodhart. This series is about a mad scientist who gets wrapped up with a monster hunting cult. I think this is pretty cool. The famous alien encounters one kind of interests me. I do like James Tynion's like horror writing, so if he does a little bit of the twist on that, I'd be interested. The other one I can't really see myself getting into.
First off, I love that it's not Image. Like, nothing against Image. It's just all the Substack books went to Image, and I was like, oh, someone did something different. That's nice.
Right. Yeah, yeah.
But the Blue Book one is, I will definitely pick up. Like, I love alien shit, especially like
Yeah.
when I talk about how much I enjoy like conspiracy theories. This is what I'm talking about. Like people who
Yeah.
see fucking aliens in the sky and shit. Like,
Yeah, it's like
um,
the newest season of Unsolved Mysteries has a really good episode about aliens. If you haven't seen it, check it out.
yeah, like that stuff, like the old X Files kind of stuff, like
Yeah,
the
right.
weird and wacky of our world.
Yep.
So I'm down for this. Oming's art can be hit or miss, but I think this is the kind of book that it fits with.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, the other one sounds interesting, but the fact that it's a Tinian said, "I have this idea. Here, you go write it,"
Yeah.
concerns me about it.
Yeah, I don't care for
That's
that either.
yeah, but
I
the
don't yeah.
premise is solid, rock
Yeah.
solid.
Yeah. I think I think it's a solid premise, but I don't know about the scripting thing.
Yeah,
Um Free Comic Book Day. We're talking about that. 2023 gold tier comics have been fully released weeks after Marvel announced their lineup already, and we have a few standouts among over 44 books. Ones that stand out include Archie Horror Presents The Cursed Library, which is the return of Archie Horror line. Okay, that's pretty exciting. An Umbrella Academy title. Okay.
which I'm curious on that one if it's new or if it's just
Yeah,
reprint
a reprint. Yeah, I'd be interested
because
too.
it didn't really say.
Okay. Jeff Lemire's new title, Fish Flies. All right. Um,
I I'm done. I'm excited for this because it's Jeff Lemire art.
yeah. Yeah, I do like
Like,
that.
yeah,
Yeah. An Animal Castle Volume 2 premiere. Cool.
which if you haven't read Animal Castle was a really really great indie book.
Yeah.
Well, it's not really an indie book because it does have a publisher, but it was like, you know, Z list publisher book
Yeah.
that not a lot of people talked about. I tried to talk about it on the show when I was reading it, but it's really good.
Okay. Cool. I remember you talking about that. There's a full list online with covers, and it's interesting. No, there's no DC titles, and we know that Free Comic Book Day is a Diamond distribution initiative. DC doesn't have a relationship with them anymore, uh, so it'd be interesting to
They'll
see
do
what they.
something.
Yeah,
It's
they
just
gotta
not
have
going to get
something.
an.
Yeah.
It's not going to get announced with the Diamond stuff
Mm-hmm.
because they're not a part of Diamond. So why would they support it? At least Marvel has something of a relationship with them.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's why they still let them be a part of it. But yeah, DC not so much.
For sure.
I'm also
Um.
thinking, Mike, for Free Comic Book Day this year, or well,
mhm.
next year, I might be going up to New Hampshire.
Oh. Okay.
Uh,
To Jetpack Comics.
yeah, so I'm in talks to go. Well, in talks. I'm not like I'm gonna be a guest or anything. Like,
Right.
don't take it that way. But
Yeah.
I'm in talks with some people I know to go up there. So I'm gonna go from Rochester, New York, to Rochester, New Hampshire, which I
Nice.
just find funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, Travis Gibbs gonna be up there.
Oh, nice.
A few people from Scout are gonna be up there, so I might go up
Awesome.
there because my shop doesn't really do Free Comic Book Day anymore,
Yeah,
which is unfortunate. But
it is. That'd be a cool hangout. Jetpack Comics is really fucking cool.
yeah,
Um, and speaking of comics, what did you read this week? Because I didn't get to anything.
you get to anything. Okay, I don't feel so bad because
No.
I read some. So
Okay.
next week
Yeah.
we'll just have a shitload of comics to talk
Oh yeah,
about.
because I put in pretty long days on my travel, so I got nothing done.
So I'll start with a manga,
Oh,
Heaven's Design Team, which is a fun little book about this group of people and in heaven, and their whole objective is to like design all the animals on Earth before the 7 days are up.
that's cool. That's
And
interesting.
there's fun, like it's fun throughout it because they talk about the different species of animals. I think this would be really great if you have kids because like at the end of each chapter, they'll talk about a couple of animals, and then it does like a little encyclopedia thing about the animal. So
Mm,
like the
that's
armadillo,
cool.
it'll give like all the information on it.
Yeah.
But I like some of the jokes throughout it. Like there's a guy who created the horse, and that's like his masterpiece. So throughout it, he's trying to create new versions of the horse. So he creates the Pegasus, and that gets
Mm,
rejected, and the
that's
unicorn,
awesome.
and so
That's
on.
awesome.
Yeah, just a fun little book. The weird part about it, though, I've never seen this before. Mind you, I'm not like seasoned on manga. But
Uh-huh.
like the first couple of pages are full color, right?
Oh
And then
yeah.
it goes right back to the black and white that I'm used to.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
don't know
the
why.
I think it was like Naruto back in the day used to do that. There's definitely some before that used to do full color for a few couple pages.
I'm assuming it's some promotional thing they did, and then they're just like,
Yeah.
yeah, we're not going to keep paying for colors.
Yeah, no way.
Captain America and the Winter Soldier Special #1.
Nice.
Um, a lie of a title because it's really just the Winter Soldier Special #1. This this kind of shows us the group that they've been infiltrating. That they go back all the way to 1922, and they've been kind of behind the scenes, like moving pieces and controlling people from all the way back then.
Mm-hmm.
And now show like one of the people in there, that's who Bucky killed 2 issues ago in Captain America Sentinel of Liberty, and now he's taking their place. And then it just kind of goes through like where he is now in that whole thing and sets up
Mm-hmm.
a new relationship between him and Peggy. So a really good issue. Namor the Submariner #2, Conquered Shores Part 2, sorry. So Namor's gone off with Luke Cage to find out how they can help the human settlers underwater. And one of the things they come up with is they could use the technology that created the original Human Torch, Jim Hammond,
Mm-hmm.
to heat and create energy for that settlement. So they're on like a mission to go do that when they come
Hmm.
across a new threat, which is apparently machines because Machine Man
Oh,
attacks them.
okay.
DCeased War of the Ungods #4. This is basically like the battle cry issue. Like we need to get together to fight these things. And Ganthet and the rest of the Owens have a plan that Superman's not too fond of. And he
Okay.
ends up punching Ganthet in the face, which was phenomenal. Blade Vampire Nation #1.
Nice.
Really great one shot. It's somebody tries to assassinate Dracula and they
Okay.
fail. And Blade's sent out to kind of figure it out. And it kind of weaves in this whole story where Blade figures out what happened. He ends up finding out that I'm going to spoil the ending, everybody. So big spoilers for this because it's just too phenomenal of a moment. And I'm pretty sure you're not going to read it, right, Mike?
No, probably not.
Okay. So they find out that Dracula is like kind of a part of this whole thing. And it was his way of trying to like exert more power onto the nation.
Mm-hmm.
And he basically like Blade asks him like, why kill one of the people that's helping you control the nation and all this? And he says like, you think that those people up there are really in charge of anything? Like they're just for show. This is my real council. And he opens up the door and it's got like George Washington as a vampire and,
That's
and
awesome.
like Genghis Khan and like all these weird people from history as vampires.
Wow.
He's like, yeah, this is the table where we get shit done.
That's awesome.
Really fun one shot. I highly recommend it. And then I Hate Fairyland #1, the new
Oh yeah.
volume of I Hate Fairyland.
Nice.
I'll say so. Scotty doesn't do the art in this, but the guy who takes over does a pretty good job.
Okay.
Gert is an adult in this one, and she basically has to go back to this whole issue is setting up why she's got to go back to Fairyland,
Mm-hmm.
and it's that some tech genius millionaire's kids is gone missing, and he believes they're in Fairyland, so they call Gert
Mm-hmm.
to come and go get them. It
Okay.
was a cool setup. I thought the art still works, but we'll see because the real crux of what I loved about I Hate Fairyland was in those moments inside of Fairyland, not
Right.
what Gert's doing as an adult in the real world.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So we'll see in the next issue how I feel.
Mm-hmm.
Mike, that's all I had.
Oh, okay.
So next week we'll have a ton of comics to talk about because I still
Yeah.
have a huge stack.
Same.
Um,
I have quite a bit.
so where can people find you online?
They can find me at Fortress Ricker on Twitter, maybe. Where can they find you enter the show?
On Twitter, you can find me at Fortress Chris. Pretty much all social media, you can find me at Fortress Chris. I think the only one you can't is Instagram, which is Fortress News Chris.
Okay.
But yeah, I pretty much personally just post the show around. Like Twitter's the only one I really talk to people on. And maybe that, I don't know. We'll see what happens. But yeah, you can find me over there. You can find the show at Fortress Comics _ on Twitter or at fortresscomicnews.com. And remember, everybody, to give us the 5-star review on the podcatcher of your choice. Like, subscribe, share, comment down below on the YouTube version. And if you want to go the extra mile to help us out, not only do it Patreon at patreon.com/fortresscomics, but also the affiliate links in the show notes down below. So everybody, thank you so much for watching and listening this week. We'll see y'all here next week.
See ya.